I think that because I know from, industry chat and like gossip and, like we get to know like a lot of things, that partnerships in hospitality do go bad quite often. I'm always hearing, like about like this guy doesn't agree with this guy, or like or maybe you hear about it but you don't hear the full story. You just
Mm.
hear like, oh, we're separating ways, so like I'm gonna open this and he's gonna open there or whatever, and you're like, oh, what's going on? And there's more story there and maybe you don't
Yeah.
know the full details. But I think quite a lot of it, like quite often you have the face of the business, um who might be a partner, and I think it quite often, like, quite often there's a partner that's hospitality. They've been in hospitality for a long time, and then there's like an investor who's got multiple businesses,
Mhm.
and one of them happens to be cocktail bars, and the other one might be a fucking steel factory,
Yeah.
and a wool mill or something. I don't know what they've got, but it's just one other business to them, and I think if they're like, and that's not to like demonize those kinds of people, but like they won't understand the longevity and the importance of doing things really well for a very long time.
Mhm.
They want return on investment. Like, like I think reading the numbers, being a little bit more of a numbers guy than like now, like reading the numbers for a hospitality business is very different to reading the numbers for another type of business. And if you only read the numbers, and if you apply the same metrics that you might get from your steel mill or whatever
Mhm.
to hospitality, you end up with a really poor product. And if you try and twist the screws on someone who really cares about the business, you end up with a really contentious relationship. And I think that's what happens in hospitality a lot. And I think that's why we see breakups
Mm.
always, like, and it's especially like bartenders who've excelled at their profession, risen up through the ranks, but probably not saved much money
Mhm.
because, we're bartenders. And then they've gone, okay, I can smash this. All I need is an investor, and they go and find it, but they find it outside of hospitality.
Yeah.
They come together. It's great for a year or two, and then the investor's like, okay, so now everyone gets minimum
Yeah.
wage,
Yeah.
make as many drinks as you can. Like, let's maybe not use that gin because it's a bit expensive. I can get this bulk for this price.
Yeah. Mm.
And then it's like, then everything starts to separate,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like things start to,
Yeah.
yeah, get a bit crazy. And I think that can be the death of a partnership.
Yeah.